The air in Dr. Chen's office was too still. I could hear the hum of the fluorescent lights, the steady tick of the clock, the rustle of paper as she laid the test results on the table between us. Marcus sat beside me, his hands clasped, knuckles white, his eyes flicked from the doctor's face to mine, already searching for something. Reassurance? Truth? I didn't know. Dr. Chen cleared her throat. I'll get straight to the point. Marcus, your blood type is O positive. Veronica, you're A negative. She paused, then turned the paper toward us. Sophia's blood type is AB positive. That combination is genetically impossible. Marcus blinked. What? His voice cracked on the word. What do you mean impossible? Dr. Chen's tone softened. Mr. Sterling, I understand this is difficult, but right now, Sophia's condition... Marcus turned to her, his eyes red. Don't talk to me about conditions. Don't talk to me about blood. None of this, he gestured wildly, makes sense anymore. I reached for him, but he stepped back, shaking his head. I don't even know who you are, he said quietly. Then he walked out, leaving the door swinging behind him. I sank into the chair, trembling. The truth I'd buried for 10 years had finally clawed its way to the surface, and in saving my daughter, I had destroyed my family. The silence that followed Marcus's outburst echoed louder than his words. He stormed out of Dr. Chen's office, slamming the door behind him, leaving Veronica frozen in her seat. Her body trembled. Not from the doctor's revelation, but from the reality that the life she had built was crumbling in real time. For 10 years, she had lived in quiet fear of this day. 10 years of dodging questions at pediatric checkups. 10 years of carefully choosing words whenever Marcus mentioned family resemblances. 10 years of pretending the past never happened. Now, the truth she thought she had buried under motherhood and marriage had clawed its way to the surface. Veronica pressed her palms against her face, fighting back sobs. She had no strength left to run, no more excuses to give. All she could see was the look in Marcus's eyes, the same eyes that once looked at her with love, now filled with betrayal. Marcus had been her safe place once. They met 11 years ago at a corporate retreat. He was quiet, thoughtful, with a laugh that felt like home. She was ambitious, driven, always chasing the next goal. Their connection was instant, easy. When they married, everyone called them the perfect couple. Solid, stable, meant to last. But no one knew what happened just before their wedding. A brief, reckless affair with Derek. Someone from her past she shouldn't have stayed away from. It was a mistake she tried to forget, a secret she swore would stay hidden forever. Then she found out she was pregnant. And the timelines blurred. The math didn't add up, but Marcus was already talking about baby names, painting the nursery, holding her through every morning sickness. She told herself it didn't matter, that love would be enough. That if she raised Sophia in truth of heart, the lie of blood wouldn't matter. But it did. It always did. Now, sitting in the sterile hospital hallway, Veronica realized that love can't rewrite DNA. Science had done what guilt and conscience couldn't. It had exposed everything. Dr. Chen's voice broke through her fog. Mrs. Sterling, we still need to focus on Sophia's treatment. She needs both of you right now. Veronica nodded weakly. I'll talk to him, but she knew Marcus wasn't ready. Maybe he never would be. She turned toward the pediatric ICU, watching through the glass as Sophia slept peacefully, unaware that her parents' world was crashing around her. Veronica whispered, I'm so sorry, baby. I just wanted to protect you, and now I might lose everything. And in that moment, she understood. This wasn't just a secret anymore. It was a reckoning.
Living with a secret like mine doesn't destroy you all at once. It erodes you, grain by grain, Until one day you look in the mirror and realize the person staring back is a stranger built out of guilt. For years, I told myself Marcus would never need to know, that love could outweigh truth, that the bond he shared with Sophia was proof that blood didn't matter. But every smile, every bedtime story, every "Daddy, look," they all became tiny knives, because I knew, and every year that passed made the lie heavier. The first crack appeared when Sophia turned 3. Marcus's family held their annual reunion at his aunt's lake house. 30 relatives, endless laughter, the kind of loud love that fills every room. I spent most of the weekend pretending I belonged in it. During lunch, Marcus's cousin showed off her newborn, a little girl with a bright strawberry birthmark on her shoulder. "It's the Sterling mark," someone joked. "Our family's trademark. Skips a generation sometimes." Everyone laughed, comparing old baby pictures and family traits. Marcus's mother turned to Sophia with a proud smile. "Let's see your hands, sweetheart. I bet you got your grandfather's pianist fingers." She toddled over, her little palms open. The room quieted as Marcus's mom compared them to a photo on her phone. Her smile faltered. Not quite the same. She tried to laugh it off, but I saw the confusion in her eyes. For the rest of the day, she watched Sophia differently, studying her face, her posture, her coloring. I couldn't breathe. Every question felt like a blade hovering over my throat. That night, Marcus brushed his teeth and said, "Mom keeps saying Sophia doesn't look like anyone in the family. She's just curious." I forced a smile. "Sophia looks like herself. That's what matters." He kissed me goodnight. I didn't sleep a second. Years passed, but the close calls kept coming. At 5, Sophia had a school project tracing family traits. Her hazel eyes, Derek's eyes, stood out like a secret, screaming in color. At 6, a dentist mentioned her unusual jawline. At 7, an ER doctor asked about allergies that didn't exist in either family. Each time, I invented answers with a smile that felt like a mask cracking. Marcus never suspected. His love for Sophia was unshakable. But I saw it, tiny moments when confusion flickered behind his eyes. He didn't voice it, he trusted me. And that trust became the heaviest burden of all. Because every time he called her my girl, I heard the truth echo in my head. She was his daughter in every way, except the one that mattered most. The truth I buried kept growing claws, and it finally found a way out. I used to think secrets stayed still, locked away if you never touched them. But they don't. They breathe. They whisper. They rot the walls of your soul until something gives. It started with Derek, Marcus's old friend from college. We'd all been close back then, the kind of friends who shared dinners and inside jokes. When Marcus took a job overseas for 6 months, Derek was the one who checked in on me, brought groceries, fixed the leaky faucet. Loneliness is a quiet predator. It waits until you're tired, vulnerable, and one mistake feels like comfort. That night, I told myself it meant nothing, but a few weeks later, when I missed my period, denial became my only survival. Marcus came home, overjoyed to find me pregnant. He kissed my stomach, made plans, painted nurseries, and I let him because I wanted to believe love could rewrite biology. For 10 years, I wore that lie like a second skin. But guilt is patient. It waits for the right moment to strike. Sophia was 8 when the school nurse called. Fever, rash, trouble breathing. We rushed her to the hospital. The doctors asked about medical history, allergies, blood types. Marcus rattled off his. I froze. They needed a quick test to match a treatment, and when the results came back, something didn't fit. Her blood type couldn't possibly come from ours combined. The doctor brushed it off as a lab mix-up. I didn't. That night, I stared at Marcus sleeping beside Sophia's hospital bed, his hand wrapped around hers like armor, and I hated myself. He deserved the truth. But every time I opened my mouth, fear dragged me back. Fear of losing the only life I'd built, the only man who truly loved me. So I doubled down. Smiles at breakfast, family vacations, birthday candles over unspoken words. But the secret grew teeth. Marcus started noticing the cracks, the hesitation in my voice, the way I avoided eye contact during parent-teacher meetings. Once he asked, half joking, "Are you keeping something from me?" I laughed it off, but inside, panic clawed at my chest. By the time Sophia turned 10, I'd stopped sleeping. Every giggle, every photo on the wall became a reminder that the truth was circling, waiting for its moment to break free. And it did, not through me, but through a doctor's clipboard and a routine checkup that would shatter everything.
The truth doesn't stay buried. It waits for the right silence to scream. By October, I'd almost convinced myself the secret could stay hidden forever. Sophia was thriving. Honor roll, soccer, giggles at dinner. Marcus was planning our 10th anniversary trip. Life looked perfect from the outside, but guilt doesn't sleep. Every laugh carried an echo of dread. Every "Mommy, I love you" reminded me that one day those words might turn to hate. That day came on an ordinary Tuesday. I was in a conference room, halfway through a client pitch, when my phone wouldn't stop buzzing. 8 missed calls, all from Lincoln Elementary. The world tilted. I excused myself, heart hammering, and called back. The principal's voice trembled. "Mrs. Sterling, Sophia collapsed during recess. We've called an ambulance. She's unconscious." I didn't remember leaving the building. One second I was in heels and a blazer. The next I was tearing through traffic, whispering prayers I hadn't said since childhood. At Children's Memorial, the smell of antiseptic burned my throat. A nurse led me into a small room. The questions came fast. Insurance, allergies, medical history. That last one hit like a knife. I lied again. I had to. When Dr. Chen walked in, her face was calm, but her eyes weren't. Sophia's stable, but her blood work shows abnormalities. Low hemoglobin, elevated white cells. We need genetic screenings. Those words, genetic screenings, froze me. For 10 years, I dodged them, changed doctors, controlled records, built walls. Now the truth had found a door. Marcus arrived breathless, still wearing his school ID badge. He looked at Sophia, pale, tiny against white sheets, and I watched his heart break in silence. He didn't even glance at me. His whole world was lying in that bed. When Dr. Chen explained that they'd need parental blood tests for compatibility, Marcus didn't hesitate. "Test us both. Do whatever you need." That night I sat by Sophia's bed, pretending calm while my insides crumbled. Because I knew the science, I knew the math. Our blood types couldn't make hers, and no prayer could rewrite DNA. The phlebotomist came at dawn. Needles, vials, labels. "Results this afternoon," she smiled. I almost left. She didn't know those tubes carried the end of a marriage. Marcus kissed Sophia's forehead. "We'll fix this," he whispered. His faith was a blade, because I already knew we couldn't. By 2 p.m., Dr. Chen asked to see us in her office. The walk there felt like a funeral procession. And that's where it happened. The moment truth shattered everything. The moment that began with the doctor's quiet words and ended with Marcus's roar. Dr. Chen folded her hands on the desk, her eyes gentle but heavy. "Mr. and Mrs. Sterling, Sophia's test results are back." Veronica's throat closed. The hum of the ceiling vent filled the silence. Dr. Chen's voice stayed steady. "Sophia's blood markers show no genetic compatibility with Mr. Sterling. Biologically, she isn't his child." For a heartbeat, the room didn't exist. Then Marcus stood, the chair legs scraping against tile like a scream. "What?" His voice cracked. "That's impossible. Run it again." "Marcus," Veronica whispered. "Don't," he snapped, eyes blazing. "Don't you say a word." He turned back to the doctor. "You're wrong. Check the samples. Maybe you mixed them up." Dr. Chen shook her head gently. "We verified twice. There's no mistake." The truth landed like a hammer. Marcus staggered back, one hand pressed to his chest, then his gaze locked on Veronica. His voice dropped, rough and shaking. "You knew." Tears spilled before she could stop them. I wanted to tell you, but..." "But what?" he exploded, slamming his fist on the desk. "You looked me in the eye for 10 years, built a home, a family, on lies." "Please," she whispered, trembling. "I was scared." "Scared?" He laughed bitterly. "You should have been, because you didn't just betray me, you erased the man I thought I was." He pointed toward the hallway. "I changed diapers, paid bills, planned futures for someone else's child."
Dr. Chen rose slightly. Mr. Sterling, maybe we should... Marcus cut her off with a sharp wave. No, she's going to hear this. He faced Veronica again, eyes glassy with rage. Every day, every choice, every sacrifice, I made them for us. And all this time, you were watching me live a lie. How could you? Veronica collapsed into the chair, sobbing. I loved you. I still do. He shook his head slowly, voice breaking. No, you loved your secret more. The silence that followed was suffocating. Even Dr. Chen looked away, giving them space that air couldn't fill. Marcus finally whispered, I don't even know who you are. Then he turned for the door, shoulders trembling, and left without looking back. Veronica reached out weakly, her hand hanging in the air. Marcus, but the door clicked shut, and with it, the last piece of their life together. She sat frozen, tears blurring the sterile walls. The truth was out. The lie was dead, and all that remained was the echo of his footsteps, fading down the hall. The silence after Dr. Chen's words stretched like an open wound. Marcus sat frozen, eyes locked on the blood type chart, as if the numbers could rewrite themselves. He finally whispered, So all this time? Marcus, I'm so sorry, I said, my voice trembling. He looked up, eyes red, expression hollow. Sorry for what? Lying about Sophia's paternity? Letting me believe she was mine? Or sorry you finally got caught? Each question cut deeper than the last. I swallowed hard, sorry for all of it, for being a coward. Marcus stood abruptly, pacing toward the window. His reflection in the glass looked older, broken. Who is he? Derek Calloway, I admitted. We were together before you. It ended, but not before I got pregnant. He turned, disbelief etched in every line. Does he even know? No, he moved to Los Angeles before I found out. He laughed bitterly. So I've been raising another man's child while he lived freely, never knowing she exists? I thought I was protecting us. From the truth, his voice cracked. You built our family on a lie. I wanted to tell him love was real, that Sophia's laughter, their bond, none of it was fake. But he shook his head. Every birthday, every memory, tainted. The door opened quietly. Dr. Chen returned. I'm sorry, but we must act fast. Sophia needs a compatible donor. You'll need to contact any possible biological relatives. Marcus's jaw tightened. You'll have to call him. I know, I whispered. Your secret isn't more important than our daughter's life. The word our still gave me hope. She is your daughter, Marcus. That hasn't changed. He sighed. I love her more than anything. But everything else has changed. Before I could answer, a small voice broke through the tension. Mama? Daddy? We turned to see Sophia, weak but awake, eyes searching for us. Marcus rushed to her side. We're here, sweetheart. The nurse said you're fixing me. That's right, he said softly, brushing her hair back. We'll make you better. Watching them, I saw the truth. Whatever blood said, Marcus was her father in every way that mattered. But the lie I'd buried had stolen something pure, the simplicity of that bond. And now, to save her life, I'd have to expose everything. That night, after Sophia drifted back to sleep, Marcus sat beside her bed, silent and distant. I opened my phone and stared at Derek's name, a ghost from another life. Tomorrow, I'd call him. Tonight, I prayed we'd still be a family when this storm passed. Morning came like a judgment. The hospital cafeteria smelled of burnt coffee and bleach. My hands shook as I held the phone, Derek's name glowing on the screen like a ghost refusing to stay buried. I pressed call. It rang twice. Hello? His voice hadn't changed. Calm, steady, unaware of the storm I was about to unleash. Veronica? It's me. Veronica, it's been years. Are you okay? No, I'm not. The words broke before I could stop them. There's something I should have told you a long time ago. You're scaring me. What is it? You have a daughter. Her name is Sophia. She's 10 years old, and she's in the hospital. She needs a bone marrow donor. 10 years old? Yes. Is she mine? I didn't have to answer. He knew. I'm on the next flight. When the line went dead, I buried my face in my hands. Guilt pulsed behind my ribs like a second heartbeat. Marcus would never forgive me, but Sophia needed a chance. Hours later, Derek walked into the hospital. Same confident stride, but softer eyes. He carried flowers, awkward in his hands. Marcus was there, sitting outside Sophia's room. He looked up, and in that instant, he knew. "You're him," Marcus said flatly. Derek nodded. "I'm here for Sophia." Marcus rose slowly. "You don't get to say her name. I'm not here to take anything. Just to help." Marcus laughed, but there was no humor. "Help? You show up after a decade and think you can fix this with a needle?" Derek stepped back. "I didn't know. And that's supposed to make it better?" Marcus snapped. I moved between them, my voice low. "Please, not here." Marcus turned to me, eyes hollow. "You've already chosen who gets to save her. You might as well let him save you too." Then he walked away, not fast, not angry, just broken. I watched him go, fighting tears. Derek shifted awkwardly beside me. "Does she know?" he asked, softly. "Not yet," I said. "She just thinks she's sick." He nodded. "Then let's start with hope." Later, in the lab, they drew his blood. The nurse promised results by morning. But that night, as I sat by Sophia's bed, one truth echoed louder than the monitors. Even if Derek was the match, nothing could fix the fracture in the man who'd been her father all along. What would you have done if you were Marcus? Could you forgive someone who hid a truth like that for 10 years? And if you were Veronica, would you have told the truth earlier or stayed silent to protect your family? Do you believe love can survive betrayal? Or are some wounds too deep to heal? Tell me what you think in the comments. And while you're there, drop your location. I'd love to know where you're watching from. If this story moved you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful stories like this one. Because sometimes the hardest truths bring the deepest healing.